Welcome to Her Handmade Hustle Unplugged, a podcast for all women with a creative business who want to learn more about how to make money doing something they love. I'm Joanne Pearce, a female entrepreneur myself, 15 years experience running my own handmade stationery business, Vintage Twee. I'm an established seller on two of the biggest handmade marketplaces, so I've got a whole load of advice to share about how to start and run your own successful creative business. I'm also a wife and a mother, so I get the struggles of trying to do it all while you're raising a family. It's hard. Alongside running Vintage Twee, I'm also a mentor for other women like me who desperately want to work for themselves but just need that bit of support to get going and get their business dream off the ground. I'm a friendly northerner, I'm open and honest with a huge heart and a real fighting spirit, and I'm living proof that you can achieve anything that you set your mind to, even in the face of adversity. This podcast celebrates the selflessness, strength and resilience of women in business. So if you're ready to ditch the 9 to 5 and learn how to start your own successful creative business, you're in the right place. Hello and welcome back to the Her Handmade Hustle Unplugged podcast. So today's episode is something a little bit special. It's not just about business or creativity or confidence, although we do talk about all of that. But this is about life and loss. And what happens when your whole world cracks open and somehow from that space, something meaningful begins. I'm joined today by the incredible Rachel Hart-Phillips, the founder of LoveLossDiscoballs, a beautiful brand of vibrant greeting cards that just bring colour and light to the darkest of times. It is a brand, yes, but it's so much more than that. It's a community, a movement, and honestly, it's a love letter to anyone who has ever grieved. Rachel lost her first husband to suicide. She was just 5 months pregnant when she got a knock on the door from the police to tell her that her husband had taken his own life. Her whole world just changed overnight. She was suddenly trying to make sense of a life that she never expected to be living. She was navigating motherhood in ways that she never imagined she would have to do. But what I love so much about Rachel is that she doesn't believe that grief needs to be depressing. And somehow she has made space for joy and glitter and humanity in the hardest of places. LoveLossDiscoballs was born out of that raw, real experience of grief, but it's also full of hope, of humour and of light. And it's not a business about sadness. It's about being human and all the joy and the mess and the meaning that comes with that. Rachel is now remarried to Warren, her husband and business partner, and together they're growing something with heart, something that gives people a place to feel seen in their hardest moments. We're talking about grief, creativity, starting over, and all the weird and wonderful ways that life can surprise you. And yes, there are disco balls. This is one of those conversations that stays with you. So let's get into it. Hello, we are joined today by Rachel from LoveLossDiscoballs. Thank you so much for being on today, Rachel.
Hi, Joanne. Nice to see you.
I'm so glad you're here. And you are just so lovely and brave and strong. And I want to tell everybody about your wonderful business. And I want to help you as much as I can to get the name out there. So yes, Rachel is the founder of LoveLossDiscoballs. And today we're going to be having, an open, uplifting conversation about turning grief into creativity. And it's about starting something from scratch and building a business and a brand based on, something pretty shitty that's happened to you, let's be honest. And I want to tell everybody about it. But we were going to be touching on all kinds of things. So it's not meant to be a depressing episode at all. We're going to help people feel better. We're going to touch on a bit about mental health, self-belief, motherhood, because there's so much going on, isn't there? It's going to be really important for women who maybe going through a difficult time themselves. And what I love about you and your business is that you are living proof that it can be done, despite what difficult times you may be going through. So let's get going. I just want to talk briefly about what led you to start LoveLossDiscoballs. It's like the coolest name in the world, by the way.
Thank you.
Love it. It's an amazing name.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, I should have begun with it really. So I mean, it's all sort of born from grief and loss. So I had quite a few profound losses, which we'll talk about as
Yes.
we go. And I've started the business with my now husband, Warren.
Warren, yeah.
Yeah, he's also suffered loss. He lost his mum as well. And so basically, yeah, we just both of us really wanted to make something out of that. And I'm sure most of the listeners will appreciate the sort of, when you feel like you're just selling your soul in a 9 to 5, but you've got a bit of a message and you want to find some meaning in what you've been through. So yeah, the idea was born one day on holiday, actually last year, around this time last year. So Warren's the creative one; he designs all the cards. And yeah, I was writing an Instagram post on what was my grief page back then about a sympathy card that my best friend had got me when I'd lost my first husband. And then it just sort of clicked. I sort of went running into Warren. I was like, modern, colourful sympathy cards. And he looked at me for a split second and then he was like, yeah, that's what we need to do. So
Well,
yeah, we had the idea then and that's where it started between us, really.
the thing is with the sympathy cards, I was having a look on your Instagram. I've been stalking now for a while because I love your designs. I love Warren's designs. But with sympathy cards, like I know when I lost my mum as well, the receiving them was actually a really difficult process in itself.
Mm,
And I hated them. I didn't put them up. I didn't want them in the house. They depressed me even more. They were just a reminder of something that I didn't want to acknowledge at the time. But what you're offering and what you do is so different in that what's your tagline? It's bringing colour and light to difficult times, isn't it?
yeah, yeah,
And it's like something you would want to put up in your house because it's not just the standard, roses on the front or with deeper sympathy, all that depressing stuff, which, absolutely hate.
yeah.
It's completely different to that. There's some bright colours and it's just really trendy. And I love that. It's so modern. Whose idea was that then? Who came up with the designs of the cards? Was that Warren's doing?
It's a bit of a joint thing on that, actually. Yeah, so yeah, we did come up with all of the ideas together, like sort of sunrises and sunsets feature quite a bit throughout our designs, but they can provoke like memories of people and memories of better times, and they sort of make you stop for a moment and reflect, and that's what we want to do, really. So it's all about bringing a little bit of hope, but without messages where it's like, oh, at least you've got your happy memories and things like that, because that's not what you want to hear.
No, it's really not, is it? People mean well when they say these things, but actually, it just hurts even more, really, because it's not a consolation at the time.
No.
You're actually just thinking, why me? This is really unfair. Why has this happened? Yeah, and it's the last thing that you want to hear. So I like one of your cards when it says, I'm just here for you, mate, on the front.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, and that's one of the things we've said with the words that we use is if you wouldn't say it to someone's face, then why would you put it on a card? Because
true.
you wouldn't say with deepest condolences on the loss of your father, would you, to your
No,
parent? But you would say, I'm here for you, mate, or I'm sorry you lost your amazing dad.
yeah, that was the other one that I saw. Sorry, I
Mm.
love Amazing Dad. That one's so nice. And that's the kind of thing that I would get and go, that person really understands.
Yeah,
I think you've got to come from a place of grief to be able to do this and do what you're doing because that's why you understand the language to use.
yeah, exactly.
Because you know exactly, what to say and how it feels when you hear those words as well. Now, you've only been going 6 months, haven't you?
Yeah, we only launched beginning of January.
It's crazy. And what you have achieved in that time is unbelievable. Before we talk about that, this bit I want to talk about now is for the ladies out there who are sat currently in their 9 to 5 jobs and they're thinking, oh, should I do it? Should I take that leap? I don't know what to do. Now, you and Warren are risk takers, aren't you?
Not normally, actually, but yeah, we seem to have turned into them lately.
Yeah, because you both left full-time, well-paid jobs to do this, didn't you?
Yeah.
So what is it that you did before?
So I was in sales and account management, um, which has actually come in really handy. And Warren was a graphic designer, sort of creative, so both
Brilliant.
from a corporate background.
Yeah, and then you just thought, I'm not doing this anymore.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it wasn't an overnight decision, but I think once we got the idea in our head and realised that we weren't going to get where we wanted to be if we couldn't give it our full time. And at
Exactly.
the end of the day, we both weren't really enjoying them that much, and you can always get another job, can't you?
Yeah, well, that's what we were saying, weren't we? We met previously,
Mm.
pre-podcast chat, we were saying that it's really important to at least try because what's the worst that could happen? You can always get another job if needs be. But if you don't try, you're never going to know if this is going to take off. And yours has really taken off. Now, you're in John Lewis, aren't you?
We did have a pop-up shop
Had
for a week in
pop-up,
John
yeah.
Lewis. Yeah.
It was amazing.
It was really nice to meet customers that week.
Just like a store that they pass and they could just buy as and when.
Yeah, just like a little pop-up shop.
So good. It's a great company to have in your corner as well, isn't it, John
Yeah,
Lewis? So,
no.
dream, I think, for a lot of people to get into that store. So you have some other local independent shops as well?
Yeah, we're in quite a few now. I think we've got about 25 stockists so far.
Wow.
Up from the Scottish Highlands down to the South Coast.
What an achievement. And that's in 6 months. Imagine where you're going to be in another 6 months. I bet you wouldn't have thought this would have happened when you started.
No, definitely not. And I think we touched on this. Sometimes you have an idea and you think someone must have done this before.
Yeah.
But it didn't seem like anyone had. And
No.
that's why we thought we need to jump and give this our all straight away.
Yeah. And even when someone has done the idea before, because it's something that I come across a lot with the ladies that I work with, they're always like, well, someone's always done it before me. How am I going to be different? And it's like, well, you'll be different because it's you.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like when I look at your work and I see pictures of you and Warren on Instagram and stuff, I think, well, your personalities pop out before anything. So that's what makes it different, because what you're doing, nobody else can deliver it the way you are. And that's what I try and tell everybody that thinks, oh, someone's already done it before me. Bring your own spin to it. And there's no other you out there. So you're the one that's doing it. And no one else has been through what you've been through. And nobody else has created a business like you have. So I always say, just do it, because you're always going to be unique if you be yourself.
Yeah, definitely. And your passion's always going to shine through as well.
It will do. Now, I want to talk quickly about dancing under a disco ball. Was you having a conversation with a friend or someone that you met randomly on a night out or something?
This was the beginning of last year.
Yeah.
And at that point, I hadn't even started my Instagram page. I hadn't really spoken that much publicly about my story and what had happened with my first husband. Just didn't feel confident enough to share my story.
Mm-hmm.
And we were in a club in Liverpool under a big massive disco ball, and I started dancing with this girl from Leeds, and we swapped numbers and stuff, which doesn't really happen too much at our age, does it? Making new friends. But the next day we started texting and chatting, and it turned out she had a podcast and she was looking for guests, and I was like, well, that's funny because I've got a story but I haven't really shared it yet. And that was the jump that I needed, the leap that I needed. And I went on her podcast, got a really good reception. And then I thought, people do actually want to hear this story. And it does help people.
It does. It helps people understand where you're coming from and what happened to you in order to, achieve what you have today. Is it something that you can tell the listeners about today? Do you feel able to share the story of what happened to you?
Yeah, absolutely. So as I said earlier, I've had quite a lot of loss in my life. So I lost my dad when I was 20. And then I lost my mum at 34. And then when I was 36, I'd lost my first husband to suicide when I was 5 months pregnant. It's awful. There's no good way to lose someone, but suicide loss is so hard.
You don't see it coming, I imagine, as well.
Yeah, such a shock. Obviously, we hadn't been married that long. We'd only been married 18 months.
Wow.
And baby on the way. We just bought our first home, so totally out of the blue. And yes, it's just such a difficult thing to get your head round. And
I can't imagine. I cannot imagine. Because you were just at home when the door went, and was it the police came round to let you know, because you hadn't heard from Ant, had you, all day?
Yeah, he'd been on a work night out on the Friday, and I was just waiting for him to go home. Like, we planned our dinner, it was in the slow cooker. But then the day just went on, and without hearing anything from him, and then the knock at the door came from the police.
And you were 5 months pregnant at the time as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard enough, isn't it? Like the thought of being a new mum, and then having to do it on your own as well, and without your mum. I can't get my head around how hard that must have been for you. But I'm glad that you are here today, and what you have built from these experiences really shines through in your products. There's nobody that could write the words that you write unless you've been through it. It really does bring colour and light to these difficult times. Thank you for sharing that with us, because I know it must be really difficult to talk about. But you have lovely Johnny as well, your son, don't you? Who, I mean, he's the same age as Eden.
Yeah, he just got his first school report last
Oh,
week.
did he?
He did so well.
Oh, is he year one then?
He's going into year one. He's in.
Yeah, yeah, of course, same as Eden, yeah. Oh, was it good then, all good?
Yeah, it was all good. Yeah, it's fun. All you want them to do, isn't it, to make friends
No.
and settle in. But yeah, he's doing well at everything. So you must feel it as well, you know, when you get things like the school reports and stuff, like the people who aren't here, like you must be the same. You just want to call your mum, don't you? And tell
Yeah, you
her.
do. And you know what? I think I was listening to the podcast you did, and you were talking about how hard it is, like when you lose your mum. It's like nothing else, isn't it? It's weird. You feel alone, like so alone. These moments that you have that you do just want to ring her, and especially when you have children now, you just think, how different would our lives be if mum was here? Do you
Yeah,
feel like that as well?
totally. Yeah, all the time.
I just feel like we've been robbed of that experience,
Yeah.
you know, and it's pretty shit. It is, and it's not easy.
No, it is. It's so hard.
With juggling motherhood, obviously, and having a business as well, I always think to myself, if my mum was here, she would say to me, right, come and drop Eden off at our house in the summer holidays. I'll have her all day. You get your work done. But she'd probably do that every day if she wanted to. That's the sort of person that she was.
Same.
And I just feel like now, without that, and that she hasn't got a grandma there, similar to Johnny as well. And it's really difficult, isn't it, to get your head around.
Yeah.
And it is a loss that cuts really deep. And I don't think you ever get over it.
No, definitely.
Always need your mum, don't you, no matter what.
You do.
I imagine that was, difficult for you as well, dealing with the loss of Aunt and not having. Because your mum wasn't here then, was she?
No.
Just lost her as well. So it's so much going on for you. But yeah, how do you juggle being a mum then while you're working?
Yeah, well, I mean, the 6 weeks is going to be baptism of fire probably because it's the first one that I've had. But you know what? It's pretty good, and he's so obsessed with football and stuff, and he will go to football camps. So,
That's
but
good.
yeah, I mean, it's a positive and a negative, isn't it? When you've got your own business, because you can do half a day and then take them out for the afternoon.
Yes, exactly.
But then you can't really take paid time off as well. So
Do you always feel guilty like me when you sat at night on your laptop, or you say you're doing something, you've got to finish some emails or you're designing or whatever? I always feel guilty when I'm doing it and she's around, and I have to, but I find it quite difficult to explain to a 5-year-old what I'm doing, and she's always like, "Mummy, get off your phone, get off your computer."
yeah,
I feel really guilty.
I know, me too. But then I suppose on the other side, you've got to look at it that you're setting such a great example for them as well. Like
Yeah,
and
definitely.
showing them about working hard and doing something for yourself. That doesn't help when you say like they're tugging at your heartstrings, saying get off your phone and play with me.
I know, it's awful, isn't it?
Oh,
I think though, Johnny will probably be working for you one day. He'll be our chief designer or something.
they love joining in on air markets and things sometimes at the weekends. So
Does he come along?
yeah.
Oh, that's really good practice as well for them to do, meeting people and just be there. And also, loads of people like to buy from you when you've got a kid that's stall. I always say to my ladies, I always go, if you can, if you have a young child, take them with you if we're going to behave, because it brings people over to your stall.
I remember when I was little, I'd spend some holidays, lots of days, sort of in the front of my dad's taxi. He had a black cab,
Yeah.
sitting on the footwell actually because there was no seat, which is probably quite illegal. But I used to get loads of tips, and they were my best days in the summer holidays. But looking back, it's like they probably just didn't have any childcare, and that was allowed. But they were my favourite days. So.
And you know what? You're right, because we worry so much about filling our children's days with all these interesting activities and keeping them busy. And me and my sisters often say to each other, we just remember sitting in our bedroom playing with our
Mhm.
Barbies or playing out on the street. Like, we didn't go on days out. We didn't do all
No,
these
same.
things. The same with you, yeah. And your memory is obviously the most simple as well.
Yeah.
But there's just this pressure, isn't there, now to be doing stuff all the time. And I think kids need that time to just rest. It's
Yeah.
been a busy year for them. And so I'm making a conscious effort this year not to plan so much in and just go with the flow and see what happens, because most of the time Eden doesn't like to go out anyway. She's just like, I want to stay at home with me. So yeah, why put that pressure on ourselves? But one of my favourite quotes on one of your cards is probably one that everybody loves. And I'm going to buy this one for my office. And it says, a disco ball is hundreds of pieces of broken glass put together to make a magical ball of light. You aren't broken, you are a disco ball. Did I say that right?
You did, yeah.
I love I absolutely love that one. I think a lot of people can relate to it. Is that one of your best sellers by any chance?
It is, yeah, absolutely, yeah. And
Definitely.
that's sort of like why we came up with the name as well. So, I mean, the love and the loss is pretty obvious, but Discoballs was partly to do with that and partly to do with just being big fans of house music and having a dance. But
Oh, you like go to Ibiza,
yeah,
don't you, as well?
yeah, yeah, I love it. We got married there last year,
Oh, you
actually.
did
Yeah,
get married there, yeah. And you're going back this summer, you said?
yes, yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. Is he gonna go proper clubbing it?
Well, we'll have Johnny with us,
Oh,
so
yeah, true. So
so much, but it'll
enjoy
be
the sun
yeah,
and enjoy
yeah,
the beaches. It is a beautiful place, isn't it? I'm going to talk a little bit about self-sabotage. Okay, so it's something that a lot of us do. We have an idea, okay, and we say, yeah, this is great. I'm going to do this. I'm going to make a business out of it. Or even just like I've got a new product. And then we throw a spanner in the works and we go, oh, no, that can't possibly work. No, someone else said before, someone else is already doing it. Oh, who am I to start a business? So these moments of doubt are inevitable when you have a business, aren't they? So what do you do to overcome those? Yes, massively. So what do you do to overcome those moments of self-doubt?
Oh, it's a tricky one. I just try and always remember the good stuff that has happened. Just try and make lists of good things that have happened, and just always reflect on the wins. Yeah, because we actually got nominated for, sorry, shortlisted. So there's in the greetings card industry, they have the annual awards, which is the Henry's Awards.
Oh, yeah.
Like a couple of thousand publishers enter them, and we've been shortlisted for 3 categories. So that
Wow,
was on Friday. I mean, you couldn't get much more recognition for that than that, to be
that's
shortlisted for awards. But this morning, I'm like that. I'm a bit like, oh, how are we doing it? Are we going to be okay? Are we doing the right thing? But I just
that's
try and remember the feeling of the good that's happened and the validation that you have had. Because it's just
definitely.
a cycle, isn't it?
It is, and I think sometimes we really underestimate what we're capable of.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're right, look how far you've come from 6 months ago. When you
Mm.
started, you didn't have any of that. It's the same with me with my business. I think, oh, a year ago, I don't think I had any clients. And then a year later, I have. And it's like, you've done it. So you have to acknowledge all your little steps towards achieving the bigger goal, because that's
Yeah,
what people forget sometimes. They're so focused on making money and earning 30, 40, 50 grand a year, but they forget about how you get there. And that's
exactly.
only through those little steps when you do sell a few cards and you make 25, 30 quid at a craft fair, or, you get into a new stockist. These are the small steps that build up to that moment of saying, I've done it, I've made it, and you're fully able to support yourself and your family from your business.
Yeah.
Um,
And I dare say that even when you get to that stage, I mean, card companies that are making millions probably still have those moments and still have that self doubt.
yeah,
It's
definitely.
all like you say. It's all,
It is. And how do you feel like, you've got companies like Moonpig and all stuff like that, and Funky Pigeon? I mean, God, I can't bear them, to be honest. Whenever I get a card from them, I just think, oh God, someone's forgot on my birthday and I'm on Moonpig and ordered one. But your stuff doesn't even compare, and this is the thing, it's so special and different. But do you worry about the competition in your industry?
um, yeah, but I think there's a place for everything, really, isn't there? Some people are going to shop on there, and they always will. But other people prefer going to a nice little independent shop on the local high street and shopping there and having that experience. So I think you've just got to try and just stay in your lane, haven't you?
Yeah, and not worry so much. If you're always worried about what everybody else is doing, then you're never going to do it. And that's the thing. Your customers are not the people that are going to Moonpig. They're actually going into these shops and going, I want to support a small business and I'm going to buy that.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
and that's it. Not everybody is going to be a customer. And I often tell that to people that I work with as well, that don't worry if that person isn't going to buy your stuff, because you don't want them to if they're not interested.
Yeah, exactly.
They're not your customer. Um, so we're just saying, you're coming from a sales background,
Mm.
that was your job. So, have you got any advice for people who don't feel confident selling? Because that's a big one for people. They just think, oh, I don't want to put myself out there because, you're really good on social media. But what about the people that aren't? From sales point of view, have you got any advice to help increase their confidence if they don't feel comfortable being online?
Yeah, I think it's probably just sort of removed the word selling from it. Full stop. I did a lot of it in my old job. I was national account manager on the road, so I've got 13 years of doing just that. But it's
Yeah,
just conversations. It's a bit of a cliche, but people do buy from people. Don't sell, basically. Don't try to sell. Just get to know people. Just build relationships, and just be yourself. And especially when it's your own products as well, it's like you don't have to learn your key features and your USPs and things like that. Them all, it's yours. So just let your enthusiasm and your passion shine through.
It should be easy to talk about, shouldn't it? It
Yeah,
should be, it should be like, this is mine, this is something I've invented, but for some reason we just have this mental block when it comes to putting ourselves out there, and we just go all inwards. Oh, we can't possibly, show people this. But you're right, just don't sell. Just
yeah,
make an effort to connect with people, and that's all you do, and the rest will follow.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just getting to know people and building relationships.
And when you go on your socials, they're just fabulous. Like they're so good. It looks really professional. Everything makes sense when you look at your feed. It's really on brand. So we were talking about social media and about using it for sales, and a lot of people worry that they're just not making sales on
Mm,
social media. And something you said to me when we chatted previously was that it's more about brand awareness.
yeah.
Think it's so right. So can you just tell us maybe a little bit of advice for people who might be worrying that they're making all this effort on social media and they're getting no return from it?
Yeah, definitely. You're right. It is about brand awareness and building a community on social media because, particularly for our cards, you can't really advertise. Do you need a sympathy card? We've got one. Like we don't want to sell them really, which is quite a strange thing to say about your own products. But what we do want is for when someone does sadly need a sympathy card, we're the first people that come into their heads. So that's what we're trying to achieve with that.
Yes.
So we share things like what to write in a sympathy card, what to say to someone who's grieving, all that kind of thing.
Really
Uh,
helpful. And that's really important because that is the content that people want to see. It's
mm,
helpful to them. It's not salesy. It's giving them some real value. And I think you hit the nail on the head there. That's exactly what you need to be doing on social media. And then the sales tend to come after that because
yeah,
you're in their head, aren't you? Like you said.
yeah, exactly. And I think as well, like thinking about your ideal customer. And I actually got mine when we had a pop-up shop in Dobbies a couple of weeks ago. It was like just a slightly older guy, but he seemed like really good fun and everything. But he picked up 4 cards and bought them.
They do.
Which is a man, like, but he was saying I love what you're doing about supporting campaign against living miserably and about getting men to talk about the feelings. He was like, I don't have any problem with that. Me and my friends all talk about the feelings, and I was like, you are my ideal customer. I'm
Yes.
target to you from now on. But
We need him in our life. Should
yeah, think about who that person is and just speak to them.
speak to them
Mm,
exactly. Yeah, and really think about who will be buying your products because you put yourself out there sometimes and you say, "Well, I like this product. I'm going to talk about it," but you don't think through the eyes of the customer and what they want to see.
yeah,
So you're right. Obviously, your cards resonated with him. Hopefully, he'll be a returning customer for you then. Now, did you give him a business card while he was there?
yeah.
And you were in Dobbies. It's one of my favourite garden centres, by the way.
That was another pop up. So we were just there for a few days. So yeah,
How did you not buy plants with the money that you made from
that
the store?
was okay. In Dobbies, it was John Lewis was the problem.
Do you know what I always say to my husband? Right, imagine that if there's one shop that you could go into when it was closed, and you could get away with stealing whatever you wanted out of the shop. Which shop would it be? And we always say John Lewis.
Yeah.
So it's got a mix of everything. It's got the electronics and the clothes and the makeup. That would be the shop that I would
Yeah,
rob.
yeah,
Is that your chosen one too?
yeah, definitely.
Brilliant. So I want to talk quickly about the charity Calm, which is the campaign against living miserably. You just briefly mentioned it then. What a fabulous charity. So tell me a little bit about Calm and what it does.
So they provide support for people going through tough times and for young people. So that yeah, suicide prevention charity to provide helplines. But some of the campaigns that they run, they're so powerful. They provide like support as well for some people who are having suicidal thoughts and just breaking down the stigma really and just encouraging open conversations. Because feels like such a taboo subject to talk about, and it's all about breaking that down and getting people talking, really checking in on the mates.
Yeah, checking in on them exactly. I'm going to put the link to the Calm charity in the show notes for anybody that wants to go and see their website if they need any help or they know somebody that might need some help because it's a fabulous organisation, isn't it? And you donate some of your profits to the charity, don't you, as well?
Yeah, so we do 50p from our support card sales online, and also any pop-ups and things that we do as well. We donate 10%.
I bet they're really grateful of that. These charities, I mean, they should receive so much more money to run than they do.
Mm,
They're saving lives, aren't they? At the end of
they
the day.
are. Yeah.
And I want to ask you, what's it like working with Warren then as your husband? So, like, do you get on?
Yeah, we do, luckily.
Hey, do not get on each other's nerves.
No, we're fine. No, so far so good.
So far, so good. I can't imagine my day, honestly. It drives me insane. So you must have a good relationship to be able to do it together.
Yeah,
What's a typical
because
day?
we're having a lot of fun with it as well. And yeah,
Yeah.
there's some days where you might be like, oh, I just need to go for a walk and just get an hour to myself.
What does a typical day look like for you two then?
Oh, absolutely no idea at the minute. Because we've had so much on, we've had things like, trade shows and things. So one week you're preparing for a trade show, the next week you're fulfilling orders, the next week something else completely. So I don't know what a typical day looks like. But
I think a lot of people find that quite difficult because you're your own boss. You've got to find a way to manage your time, and that can be quite difficult for some people. I
yeah,
mean, I'm talking about you, but as I'm getting older, I'm getting more and more distracted by things. Like I used to be when I ran my business, like at 27, when I first started my stationery business, I'd be like really focused and I'd work like 14-hour days, get so much done. And like now, I've got 6 hours during the school day to get things done. I should be working, but then I find myself like on YouTube or Googling something really random.
when you've got to go on social media to do your work, you've got to like realise when you're actually being productive, or
Yeah,
you just end up doom scrolling.
you're just there for like half an hour and go, I've got nothing done. And when
Yeah,
people always say that they've got no time, you have to think to yourself, well, how long do you actually spend scrolling social media? If you
yeah.
take that away and stop doing it, you'll probably find I've got so much more time.
No.
You know,
Yeah,
it's
well, I'm just looking for inspiration. Where you're like, this isn't really inspiration now. You're looking at someone's holiday.
exactly whatever pops up. I'm like, what the
Yeah,
black? You know? And then the algorithm gets to know what sort of things that you like to look
yeah,
at, doesn't it? And you're just thinking, this keeps tempting me even more.
yeah. I think, yeah, on the other hand as well, it's like it's learning when to switch off has been the biggest one for me. It's like your list is never done, is it? There's always so much more you can do, but you've just got to learn. Like, in a normal 9 to 5, most of the time you've got a list for the day. Once you've ticked it off, you go home and you switch off. But that's not a thing anymore, and that's what I found really hard.
It is hard, and it's sometimes you have a moment where you feel a bit sorry for yourself, and you sat there in the evening going, "Oh, why are they texting me? It's like 9, 10 o'clock at night, and I've only just got downstairs." And but then an order comes in, and you think, "Oh, right, that's great, I've got an order." And you're torn between wanting to reply and then thinking, "No, I need this time to myself."
Yeah,
But you do it because it's your own business, and
yeah,
that's how you do get a good reputation.
yeah. It becomes a lifestyle, doesn't it, rather than a job?
It does. It really does. And it's really important, I think, for our children to see us working
Mhm.
hard like we are. And I know that it might, in some way, um, influence their choices in life, which is good. I mean, I was saying to somebody the other day that entrepreneurship now is an actual viable career choice for young people because not everybody wants to go to university and wants to get trained in something. Starting your own business is a great way to be able to be in control of your life, and I think it is being pushed now.
Definitely.
And I think it's brilliant. It's a great example that we're setting for our kids. That's what I keep telling myself anyway.
Yeah,
When I'm
and I think with
working away at like 9, 10 o'clock at night.
it,
So, just to finish off, then, what does the future look like for Love Lost Disco Balls?
so yeah, we're all about getting into more retailers. Like wholesale's the biggest side of the business for us.
Okay.
Hopefully we'll get into some bigger national retailers.
Yeah. Have
But
you
even
applied to people then, or is it on your radar to do?
Yeah, it's on our radar. We're hopefully waiting on a dream stockist order
Yeah, I'm
coming
sure.
through soon. So, but even like getting over to America, Australia, places like that as well. Because they probably got such a big market for what we're doing too.
So if people want to buy your cards, they can go to your website,
Mm,
which I'll put the link in the show notes as well. So it's just lovelostdiscoballs.co.uk.
yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, so you can go there. And you also take wholesale inquiries as well. So if there's any people that like to stock your cards, I can see them in some lovely little gift shops
Yeah.
where I live in Derbyshire. Because we're not that far away, really, are we? You're Liverpool. We were going to go to Crosby
Oh,
Beach this weekend, by the way.
oh, really?
Yeah, but I've never been. And Needham said that she was afraid of those Anthony Gormley statues that are coming out of the water. So I was going to ask you, like, how scary are those?
They're not very scary at all. Yeah, keep your distance. He can't follow you.
It's like a man wading in the sea. Is it a nice beach, though?
It's a lovely beach. Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
was going to say, don't take her to see the Angel of the North if she doesn't like them.
really.
It's kind of scary, massive.
Well, that's on my list of things to do. But I thought I'll ask you about Crosby Beach while we're on.
Yeah, no, it's definitely worth a visit. It's gorgeous. Yeah.
Wow, thank you. Great. But thanks so much for coming on. I really Really enjoyed chatting to you. And yeah, if anybody wants to go and check out LoveLossDiscoballs.co.uk, you will find a whole selection of cards on there. And it's not just grief cards, is it? It's other cards as well.
Yeah, we've got weddings, engagements, good luck, get well soon, well done. So really branching out into other categories now as well.
Yeah, I love it. And, you know, they're perfect for anybody that's going through a difficult time and you're not sure what to say, because let's be honest, sometimes we're just not, are we? There are no words for some of the worst situations that people find themselves in. So a card like the ones that you and Warren are designing can make a world of difference to somebody to receive through the post. So please do go and give them a follow on Instagram. Go and check them out. Amazing designs. And I'll put some on my social media posts as well. So thanks again for coming on.
Thanks so much, Joanne.
You're welcome. Thanks, Rachel. Bye. Bye. So that was my interview with the lovely Rachel from Love Lost Discoballs. I mean, how brave is that woman? Like, I cannot imagine what she has been through, but the fact she has created this wonderful business using her experience and the grief that she has felt through all of her losses, and she's put it into this wonderful small business that is now bringing comfort and joy to so many other people, I just think is truly admirable. And what I loved most about Rachel was the fact that both her and her husband Warren are risk takers. And I said it in the interview, you have to be a risk taker if you work for yourself, or at least if you want to work for yourself. Rachel and Warren both left well-paid full-time jobs to start Love Lost Discoballs. And they have taken the leap. It's only 6 months ago, but they have done it. And there'll be no looking back for them now, I'm telling you. So if you want to go and check out their cards, please do visit their website, lovelostdiscoballs.co.uk, or go and follow them on Instagram. You'll see some of the amazing quotes that they've got on the front of their cards. And maybe the next time that you do need to unfortunately purchase a sympathy card, then Love Lost Discoballs and the lovely Rachel will pop into your head. And I'm sure she will have just what you are looking for. I will be back in 2 weeks' time with the second of my summer interviews with the lovely Alison Boucher from Boucher Accountants. You know, everybody thinks accountants are boring. This one is not, I promise you. We have such a laugh on the interview. She is talking all things money when it comes to being self-employed. I am asking her things that I know you're dying to know the answers to, but either you don't have an accountant or you don't know who to ask, or you feel stupid asking it. Well, don't worry, I am doing that for you. That one is going to be released on Wednesday, the 20th of August, so don't miss it. I hope you're all surviving the summer holidays so far. And of course, if you want any support with your small business, please do send me a message. You can email me, herhandmadehustle@gmail.com, or drop me a message on Instagram or Substack and I will get back to you. Thanks so much for listening, and I'll see you next time.